Greetings and welcome to the Rise Up Mama podcast. My name's Vanessa and I help busy women, especially mums, to feel more confident. I do this by showing you simple ways to improve and maintain your health and wellness through positive mindset development. I will also show you practical ways of making long-lasting changes around your busy lifestyle. One of my clients said, Vanessa is motivating, supportive, and knows her stuff to be able to guide you. If you're just tuning in, I'm on a challenge. It's been set by my online marketing coach, where I have to produce an audio recording every day for 1 year. Today is day 18, and the audio aims to inspire you to retain your physical strength. Okay, so let's do this. I'm so excited to talk to you about this topic this evening because I do have a lot of experience of really helping people to stay active, and I'll share that with you in my conversation. Okay, so what I'd like to start off with is just a little story. I'm really proud of myself because I'm improving my evening routine, which is great because getting enough sleep in your routine is really part of how we are going to help our body to repair and to recover, okay? Particularly when we've been active. Now, I must say that my toddler has woken up in the early hours for the last 2 nights in a row, so I have had broken sleep. And last night, when I finally did get back to sleep, I found myself dreaming where I was in my kickboxing club. And in the dream, I was unprepared in terms of my kit. I didn't have my belt on. I didn't even have a supportive bra on. Now, the consequences of not having the right kit when you turn up at kickboxing is burpees. So in the dream, I definitely wanted to avoid burpees. I started kickboxing when I was about 25, and it was a decision that was made after I attended a school reunion. I was just chatting to some old school friends, and we all said that we were going to try out kickboxing together. But actually, I was the only one who turned up, and I continued to keep going back, even though the first session was really tough. And I thought, what on earth am I doing here? I kept going back. And eventually, after many hours of training and overcoming my self-doubt about my ability, being one of the older women in the class and, not really feeling like I was up to some of the technical parts of the kickboxing, I have managed to get myself to the purple belt level. But it doesn't stop there. I am supposed to by now be at least brown and white, but as you know, I've had a pregnancy break, so I did train during my pregnancy, but I had to be careful, obviously, when I was carrying my son, and when I returned, I was doing postpartum very gentle exercises. But the point that I'm making is I really miss kickboxing, okay? And it doesn't matter that I'm one of the oldest there. I love the session and I really love noticing my strength regaining. I can feel it quite quickly, actually. Now, as you know, 2020 has been a very turbulent year for all of us in so many ways. And if you were someone who was used to going to the gym or taking regular exercise in a class, it might have been a yoga class, it might have been Pilates, it might have been kickboxing like myself, then you haven't been able to do that in the normal environment. And you might have been doing those things within the home. Personally, I've noticed that my strength has reduced over the last year. So if I think about my timeline in terms of my body, I had my son in 2019. I was very physically weak after having him, particularly around the abdominal area. And I decided that walking was going to help me to regain my strength. And that was one of the best decisions that I made, because not only from a physical perspective, but it ignited an opportunity for me to form the PranFit community. So the PranFit community was very active during 2019. I've met some wonderful women in the local area. And as I said, walking, getting out, doing those walks helped me to regain my strength. Then I went back to the kickboxing classes, and just doing gentle exercises was enough to start to build up the strength. So I was getting stronger. Then last year, obviously everything changed. I was back in the house doing bits and bobs in the house, still doing walks and runs. And if you've been following this journey with me on my podcast, you may have heard about some of the activities. What I'm trying to say here is I'm at the point where, yes, I have a gym membership and the gyms have reopened last week. But there's waiting lists. So the gym times with the reduced the reduced hours and the fact that you have to book in, it's not really suiting my lifestyle as a busy mum. So when I'm ready to train, then it's peak hours, and I'm not even I'm on the waiting list, but I might be number 8 on the list or something. So I do have to really consider my options. And it was quite funny that yesterday my neighbour, who set up weights in his garden, he was doing some training, and I said, gosh, I might as well pay you to come and use the weights in your garden rather than trying to get to the gym. So that's something that I'm aware of, but I am booked in for tomorrow evening. So I'm really excited about that, because strength training is a must. So I do tummy toning in the mornings, and I use my own body weight to do other exercises like push-ups. Okay. Now, I would like to recommend the 7-Minute app. If you have a phone where you can download apps, I would really recommend that if you are not able to get into the gym. It's got so many different options for you to do in terms of fitness, and you can set it to different levels. It's absolutely brilliant. Mine was a little bit longer than 7 minutes, but I think the idea is great, which is just letting you know that you can do something and it doesn't take that much time. Now, wellness coaching is where I've started my coaching career. So I've been doing wellness coaching for 8 years, supporting men and women with their nutritional needs, and also with what I would describe as fitness coaching. So this is where I encourage men and women to stay active in an accountability group. I've also ran fit camps, which were absolutely amazing, and they were one of my happiest days, should I say. And it was real character building running fit camps. And when everything settles down, I'm really excited about opening up a local kick camp, fit camp, where I live. Okay, so I've been speaking to some people about that. Now, most adults either forget or are not aware that we lose muscle mass as we age. And the technical term is called muscle atrophy. Gosh, I can't even speak properly. Okay, atrophy. And this is where the muscles waste away. And it's usually caused by a lack of physical activity. So some of the symptoms of muscle atrophy, I cannot say this word, wow. Okay, so you'll know if your muscles are starting to feel weaker. And you might actually see the difference if one of your arms or legs is actually noticeably smaller than the other, or you've actually got a weakness in one of your limbs, or you've actually just been physically inactive for a very long time. So part of the motivation for me doing this topic this evening is the fact that, even though I was on a walk this morning, I was like, I want to do some strength training. I don't feel as strong as I normally would do. Now, if you've noticed you have got muscle loss, so I'm just going to call it muscle loss just to keep it real, okay, then the treatment that you will need is going to depend on the severity of the muscle loss. And you may have an underlying medical condition as well, so you do need to get that checked out. But common treatments, so for someone that's in my situation, a common treatment would be to move more. So I need exercise, and I'm going to do very specific exercises when I finally get in the gym tomorrow. If you have the muscle loss that's more severe, then you will need some physical therapy. And you don't want to get to the stage where surgery is involved, but that may be an option. But for many of you, it will be like what I've done, make changes to your diet. So exercise and diet is basically going to be enough for most people. All right. So I just want to touch on now, I've spoken about diet, and I just want to touch on the benefits of protein. I do cover this in more depth for my VIP customers that come on the 21-day nutritional club with me, but I just want to share some points with you now. Protein is incredibly important for good health, and it shouldn't be ignored. It's a nutrient that must be consumed every day to meet your body's needs. So it's one of those things where the body needs protein, but it doesn't produce it. And the only way that we can get protein into our body is by literally consuming it through food. Now, protein is needed to repair and maintain your muscles, but not just your muscles, your bones, your skin, and your hair. And these tissues are continuously being repaired and replaced with new protein. There is evidence that shows that higher protein intake is good for weight loss and for other benefits. Now, as I said, over the last 8 years, I've supported my clients to actually really think about how nutrition is having a positive impact on their life. So it's not just about exercise. You've got to have the balance with your nutrition. And what I've been doing is giving what we call a body composition. So I have been giving my clients body compositions, which actually helps them to understand the changes that are happening within their body, including the growth or the reduction of muscle mass. If this is something that you're interested in, then as I said, I do cover this information in more depth in my nutritional courses. So you can ask me more about those. So just to wrap up, what you don't use, you will lose, mama. And exercise and great nutrition is essential to keep your body healthy and strong. I've always been an active person and I've followed a sensible diet. But in my late 20s, I did start to eat more takeaways, and I was actually not doing those home cooked foods. I was drinking, well, not really pop, but I was definitely drinking more. I was going out a lot more. I was drinking. And even though I was active, I did put weight on. And I didn't realise that it was my diet that I really need to focus on because the activity was already there. So maybe I was just trying to out-train a bad diet. Now that doesn't work. Now I'm not in my 20s. I'm now in my mid-40s. And I'm thinking about my body in a different way. So this now is about me constantly looking for great vitality, energy, and strength. And I know that the way how I would achieve the strength, for example, is to stay active and to make sure that my body is consuming the adequate amount of protein each and every day. If this is something that you want to know more about in terms of your body, how much protein does your body actually need, and other benefits of protein, and looking at a healthy, balanced diet, then I offer a complimentary wellness evaluation. And this will give you clarity about your health and your active lifestyle. And you will leave the session with a plan that you can start to implement immediately into your life. And you will see changes. As I said, it didn't take long. When I go kickboxing, it doesn't take long for me to feel the strength coming back to me. Okay, so I'd love to have that conversation with you so we can look closely about, what you're doing, areas that you need to improve on. And like I said, you will be left with a plan. So wherever you are listening to this podcast, there will be a link underneath which will give you an invitation to the wellness evaluation. I can't wait to speak to you. Well, as usual, I have no idea what I will be talking to you about tomorrow, but I hope that you have found this episode useful. Please join me again when we will cover another topic of conversation. And yeah, I love doing these podcasts, so it's definitely something that I will be continuing to do. So thank you for tuning in, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.